Welcome to CS Tech Solution. Today is learn in AWS DevOps. Today is learn a Python basic in 81 topics is using the pandas for the data's manipulations and the load and manipulate the data in the CSV files in Python. So use as a import pandas as a PD and the PF equal the PD dot read underscore CSV and counts the single quotes as a data dot CSV files and counts close and print counts the df dot had counts open and close and counts counts close and filter the data as so use the filter underscore df equal the df and the square bracket df and square brackets and single quotes as a colons underscore name and the square bracket close and the greater than as a tens and the square bracket close and print counts the filter underscore def df and 82 is using the request for the https request and the making the get and post request in the python. So use the import request and after the get request is response equal the request dot get and counts the single quotes is https colon the double slash and the api dot example dot com slash the datas and counts as close and the print counts the response dot the json and methods and close the counts and the post request as use the data equal the curly braces inside the single quotes and the keys and colon the single quotes as a values and curly braces over and the response equal the request dot post counts the single quotes and https colon the double slash api.example.com slash the datas and commas and the json equal the datas and counts close and print counts as a response.json methods and counts open and close and main counts as close and 83 is creating some basics web servers in http dot servers and simple http servers to serve the files in python. So use the forms http colon http dots as the servers and import the simple http request handlers and commas and http servers and the port equal as a 8000 and the handler equal the simple http request handler and with the http servers and counts and inside the another counts and the single quotes open and close and commas and the ports is and counts close and commas and the handler and counts close and as a https d and colons and inside the function to use as a print counts the f and single quotes as a serving on the ports and curly braces inside the ports and variables names and counts as close and http d dot serve underscore forever methods as a counts open and close and 84 is using the flask for the Webhooks, Webhooks and the handling the upcoming Webhooks request in the Python. So use the froms flask import the flask and commas the request and app equal the flask counts the names and app dot root counts and single quote slash the webhooks and the commas and the methods equal the square brackets and single quote as a post and counts as close and def the webhooks and counts as a function and colons and the data equal the request.json and print counts the data and return and single quotes open and close and commas 200 and if the names equal the single quotes main and colons the app dot run counts the port equal as a 5000 and counts close and 85 is creating some base scripts with subprocess and run the cells command from the Python. So use the import subprocess and the subprocess dot run counts and the square bracket single quotes as a echo and commas and single quotes as a hello commas words and square brackets over and counts over. And 86 is topics is using the Docker's Des compose with the Python. So use the programmatically and run the Docker's compose commands in a Python. So use the import subprocess and the subprocess dot run counts and square brackets is a Docker Des compose and commas the single quotes as a up and commas and single quotes slash the d and square brackets and counts as close. 87 is using the moto for mocking's AWS service in the test. So the mocking's AWS S3 for the unit testings in Python as a use as a import the moto 3 and from the moto and the import mock underscore s3 and the at the rate mock underscore s3 and the def the test underscore s3 underscore upload and counts open and close and colons is this a function as a s3 is equal the boto3 dot client counts the single quote s3 and commas the regions underscore names equal the single quotes us dash east dash 1 and counts close and s3 dot create underscore buckets and counts the bucket equal the single quote says my dash buckets and counts close and the s3 dot upload underscore files and counts the single quotes as a file dot txt and commas and single quotes as a my dash buckets and commas and the single quotes as a file dot txt and counts close is a test a logic here. And 88 is using the sync IO for the synchronize the task and the run the multiple task the concurrently in Python. So use as a import the io sync io and the sync and def the savs underscore hello and counts open and close this the as a function and colons and the print counts the hello and the await sync io dot slips counts as a 1 and print counts as a word and zinc deft main and function and colons and await zinc io and dot the graders and counts the say underscore hello is a up function and counts and commas and the say underscore hello is a repeat and counts and commas and main counts close and the zinc io dot run counts the main and count as a main functions is theirs and counts open and close and main counts close. And 89 is using the flask-cors for the cross or origins resources settings and allow the course in the flask apps in Python. So use as a from flask import the flask and from flask underscore course and import as a course and app equal the flask counts the names and course counts as a apps and at the rate app dot root counts the single quotes slash data and commas and the methods equal the square brackets and single quotes as a get is theirs and counts close and the def and the data's function and colons and written as a curly braces inside the double quotes as a message and colons and double quotes as a hello from the course and curly braces over and if the names equal the single quotes as a main and colons and the app dot run and counts open and close. And 90 is using the pytest features for the setup and the Teardowns and create features to manage resources in Python. So use the import pytest and the @pytest dot fixture, and the deft and simple underscore datas function and colons, and the datas equals the curly braces and double quotes as a key, colon the double quotes as a values, and curly braces over, and the yield is the datas is a this is the test data and trace downs the codes here in if the necessaries, and def the test underscore simple underscore data and count the simple underscore data is arguments and colons of the function, and a set simple underscore data is a of a function, and is a square brackets and single quotes is a keys is used, and equal the single quotes values is the same, so use. Thank you to watch the videos. Please subscribe the channel, on the notification and bell icon. Thank you so much guys to watch the videos.